The next morning, we visited the sand dunes of Nubra Valley, where tourists are given the opportunity to ride two-hump camels that have made the long journey from Mongolia. We were told that the average lifespan of a two-hump camel is roughly 20 to 25 years. Every evening at 6 p.m., the camels are released in the sand dunes to wander freely. Then in the morning, the keepers spend 5 hours herding them together to await tourists.
They're in love. So there are these other two also that I got.
Wow, wow. Very nice. Wow, wow. From now on, Elroy will be called Indiana Bones. You are following your own body.
Dude, hurry up, man.
If your camel acts stupid, even I have to suffer. I don't want you to suffer with my camels.
What a liar.
Wow, wow.
What a bloody liar.
We proceeded to Diskit Monastery, perched in the sky, overlooking the town of Diskit. From the monastery, one has a great view of the large statue of the Maitreya Buddha, which our guest house owner was involved in erecting. Our time in Samur and Diskit had really been a spiritual awakening. I had always been skeptical of religions because of their incredulous stories of events that occurred in a time when modern science couldn't verify their happenings. For example, why isn't Moses around today to part the Red Sea? But when a 3-year-old Chota Lama speaks of a past life he couldn't otherwise know about, and people who knew the previous Baukula are around to corroborate the events of his life, we're dealing with a phenomena beyond the realm of science. When you're out in the middle of nowhere, your mind not cluttered by internet, television, telephones, or iPods, it doesn't seem so absurd, even to me, the biggest cynic around. We then popped down to take a quick look at the Maitreya Buddha statue. Its immense scale is quite overwhelming from close quarters. As we were leaving, we met an inspired-looking man from Thailand.
Pad Thai.
Oh, Pad Thai.
Everybody loves Pad Thai.
उम्मीद पर तो दुनिया कायम हो सकती है, तो हम अपने सामने रखी तकदीर पर क्यों नहीं?
I don't think this film has thus far done justice to my desire to convey the state of the roads on which one is forced to travel in Ladakh. You also begin to understand why the people of Kashmir and Ladakh have so much respect for nature. Things are running fairly smoothly at first. Just a few hurdles here and there. Nothing this roadside mob can't handle. Though you get the feeling it's only a matter of time before we're facing a big problem. Well, I spoke too soon. Problems on the road don't get much bigger than this. Elroy's seen here lending his brains to the cause. And Gaurav, his muscles.
Just stating the obvious.
Using one truck to tow another, the path is soon clear, but not without leaving a trail of damage in its wake. For some people, in times of desperation, true stupidity really shines through.
Yo, yo, yo! What the hell is he doing?
If we hadn't already learned our lesson, it was becoming increasingly clear why man shouldn't mess with nature.
I don't agree with the idea to push it down the cliff.
No, but a small car will not go over it. Holy shit. Look at all the rides that will get fucked.
Are they?
Yeah.
We basically created a landslide. I told you I didn't support this idea. Oh shit.
Following some haphazard repairs, we're ready to send our first guinea pig.
That was not the right car to send first. It's not a very strong car. There's a rock stuck between the tires.
We've now been stranded out here for more than 2 hours, and quite frankly, it's the most fun we've had on the entire excursion to Nubra Valley. Our final excursion in Ladakh was to Pangong Lake. Physically and mentally exhausted by the week thus far, we had been debating whether or not to make the journey. An elderly gentleman, having overheard our conversation, interrupted us to insist that we go. Lying over 4 kilometers above sea level, this saline water lake stretches from India to China. It's a 5-hour drive to Pangong Lake, and once there isn't much to do, except revel in nature's magnificence. Gaurav and Elroy were in a competitive mood, and skimming rocks was all that they could improvise in the circumstances. Success was limited at first. No one could really tell where Gaurav's rock had landed. Soon enough, we see some improvement.
He's got a big run up here.
Now the boys are ready to duel for the meaningless, non-existent title of Best Rock Skimmer on Pangong Lake.
Not bad, not bad.
And Gaurav wins. We said our goodbyes to Pangong and made our way back to Leh. We ventured out into the streets of Leh one last time, hoping to find souvenirs that would embody the feelings evoked by our visit. We hadn't left Ladakh yet, but part of me had already checked out. I could be heard many times over the past week saying, "I'm glad I did this once, but never again." But as the time to leave drew near, I knew this wasn't my first, and nor would it be my last encounter with Ladakh, whether in this life or others. This was the moment I realized that I couldn't fight fate. I had to cede some element of control over my life to the world, and just have faith that I was being taken where I was meant to be.
कभी कभी जिंदगी के लिए किस्मत में यकीन करना ही काफी है। आज़मा लेंगे उसे फिर कभी।
The world is going to have its fair share of rainy days. It's not something we can control. Some people spend their lives waiting for the rain to stop. Others follow the crowd into and out of the rain. Some shield themselves with umbrellas, just trying their best. Then there are those that ignore the rain and simply enjoy the time they have, riding the wave. whilst some can't escape the rain. They make the best of it. And some people turn to faith. To them, it rains for a reason. Sometimes it helps to stop and think about that reason.
I'm picking up pieces of peace to believe. I'm catching those rays of light for the night, and I wonder what's happening with the world. I'm picking up pieces of peace. Help me, please. I'm catching those rays of light to give us sight. I'm picking up pieces of peace. I have no fears. I'm catching those rays of light to keep things bright, and I wonder what's happening with this world. Is there a secret or spoken word? Pieces of peace, picking up pieces